Welcome everybody back for episode 6 of the Dirt to Daytona Wednesday night track walk. I'm your host, as always, Joshua Temple. I am not joined by Jason Nepper this week, sadly. He is out of town, so we'll be looking forward to having him back next week. But I do have somebody here to fill the missing shoes of Mr. Nepp, and that is the longtime. He's been in shows popping in and out here and there, but Dr. Shiesty, Devin Bradley, welcome back.
Thank you, thank you. If it ain't one, it's the other, right?
Yeah, dude,
One's out, the other's in.
it's been
But
a long time since you've been back, but I'm glad to have you for a full show, so welcome back.
I'm glad to be here for a full show. It's definitely exciting and glad to be back for sure.
Good, good, I'm glad. But let's start getting into the thick of things. The first thing I want to say is we are here. NASCAR 25. It is early release week. Comes out technically tomorrow night. I'm going to say Friday. It comes out Friday. We're all ready for it. We're all stoked for it. A lot of pre-season prepping is going to be happening. A lot of test lobbies, test sessions. We're really going to get stuff tuned in and go to where we want to go with how we want the seasons to get ran and go about. So rule books are pretty much ready to be written up and released after we get the game. But I am joined by a couple others tonight besides Shiesty. Um, this is another. Everyone tonight is going to be returning. They've been on the show before. The first one I want to introduce. He played a big part in season 3. I'm not going to spoil that yet for people that don't know what happened in season 3. But Simone Milan, welcome back.
Hey, how's it going, guys? How are you?
No, I'm doing good. It's nice to have you back, and
Yeah, glad to be back. Thanks for having me again.
yeah, can't wait to unfold what happened in season 3 with you, and we can talk about a couple things. So yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
for
Yeah,
sure.
we'll get into it.
Another person that is here, that he also raced season 3, of course. He's been here since season 1. Um, he's been on the show once, and he's back. Matthew Meals, welcome back.
Thank you, appreciate it. Glad to be back and to have enjoy to have some fun out here with
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah, we're here to have a good time, and we're here to listen to your side of the stories here for what happened through season 3. Because I know you played a couple factors here and there in some races, so I can't wait to hear your side. And
Absolutely.
and lastly, he is back. He is newer to the league, but he did race a whole Xfinity Series season with us, and he did hop on to a truck league we were all part of, and we ran to close out NASCAR Heat 5. Chad Weatherington, welcome back, bud.
Glad to be here. Thanks.
Now, I want your input from an outside source of stuff, anything we talk about tonight. So, yeah, definitely be in the discussion. I'll be ready to listen and have my ears ready to see what you got to say.
Glad we can get that name tag fixed for you.
I do
Low
what I
lap
can.
legend. Just here so I don't get fined.
There we go. Without further ado, again, Nep's not here, so we're starting this whole thing off with Garage Talk with Josh this week. I'm excited. I love the way Nep goes about all this. He always has an intro, always has a saying to this. Nep puts a lot of work in. I threw together a bunch of stuff, so we're going to see how this goes. But this week's episode of Garage Talk with Josh, I am going to go over season 3. I do have Samo, NASCAR, Chad, and of course Shiesty here. We're going to throw out some discussions about what happened. We're going to go through this as quickly and efficiently as possible. So whoever's got questions at the end, please don't be afraid to ask us. I want to hear from everybody. So without further ado, let's dive in and travel back and recap the season 3 of the Dirt to Daytona Racing League. First things first, before we get into anything crazy, if I remember correctly, this was our first actual draft. This was our first actual driver's draft. I had it written down, so I think this was the first actual draft we ever did. But
Yes, it was.
to run through it real quick, of course, me and Smell 1 and 2. Um, a really old and familiar name, Killa. He was picked third. I think Wolfie had that team captain spot for Toyota, so I think that's how that went. But from there on down, the list goes on and on and on. NASCAR was the top 5 pick. He showed some muscle his first 2 seasons here, and he did not disappoint in season 3 either. He had some really good runs. Um, but yeah, I mean the list goes on. The list goes on and on and on. 24 drivers we had from the draft. We did not start with 24. Before we get into what else happened in this season, we actually started off the season with the first couple races having 28 drivers. So this was the most drivers we ever had start a race. Season
Yeah,
three,
big field.
season three was a big turning point, and Samo can go ahead and say the same exact thing.
Yeah, oh yeah. Season 3 was where we really the league really kind of took form, took shape, and really took off, and it was nice to see, and it was nice to have a great turnout and a big field at every track.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah, I mean, in NASCAR again, you're another one that can vouch for it. We, I think this was the season that had the highest competition level to this point. I think season 6 is going to change that though, but we'll see them when the time gets there.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, season 3 was definitely the highest competition we had thus far. I mean, last season we had huge competition too, and it just keeps getting better and better every season.
Definitely, it did, and you know, especially some returning drivers that haven't been a part of the league in about 2, 3 seasons. I mean, it's going to be interesting. And then all the new talent we're bringing in, and people, a lot of people from iRacing are coming in to drive and stuff. So we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens with this season. But let's get into what really kicked off this season. So we really put a lot of thought into how we wanted to go about this season. It was a 25 race season, but it had 4 preseason races that we had scheduled. We had duels. We had the twin duels. The twin duels were cool. Cool. I was able to record one from a TV view, and then I had to record the second one that I was in from a car view. But that was a whole different vibe. It felt, and yeah, they were interesting. They were definitely interesting.
Yeah, it was neat. It was neat. It was nice to be able to have enough people to even run duels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was
Right.
14.
And kind of, and
I think it was 14 and 14. I think it broke down to 14
yeah,
cars
yeah,
each. Yeah,
I believe so.
yeah. Yeah, and some interesting names went in one. One name, she is common. She is a part owner of the league. And the other one, he was a rookie in season 3. You had Dirt and Daytona. Dirt to Daytona. I will keep saying that. I think that was the funniest thing ever.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dirt and Daytona won it. It was a very, very interesting thing. And look at it, I even include checker flags. I was so great this season. This was a branch out season for me too, because you'll see as we go on and you look at the races we had, we actually did sponsored races. So it was sponsored no matter if it was through a couple bucks someone wanted to throw, or someone just wanted to have their name on the track. For that race, they wanted to create something that either A meant something to them, or B they thought it was cool. I let people run wild with this, and man, there was a lot of time put into setting this season up. But yeah, that was
Yeah,
interesting.
it was cool to be able to sponsor races and kind of just put a little extra blue check mark
Hmm.
into really solidifying the league and kind of incentivized people to try to run it and try to run up front and at a couple bucks, even if it was either first place or first through fifth or
Hmm.
first, second, third or whatever the case may be, but it really it brought out another level of competition.
Well, that's what the good thing is too about this. We're basically bringing this back for this season, which
Correct.
is awesome. I have a couple bites. I had like 3 or 4 people bite on it as of right now. I have to put it back out there because I'm gonna get all this stuff done before the season even starts. But Yeah, we're gonna have that. That's gonna be another little layer onto what we got going on, and making this as interesting, keeping everyone's attention on it, and really hoping people focus on what we have going on here. But all right. So Duel 1 and 2, Dirt and Daytona won them. Then we hop into a special occasion race. There was a rookie showcase. We called it the Warwolf 100. So this was a toxic part of my time running the league. Um, this was a guy that used to race with us. As you can see, it was Todd White. His name was Warwolf. He raced with us for a couple seasons. He raced with us on our dirt when we ran our dirt league. He was a interesting character, and he just got up and left with a couple others, and it was just interesting as hell. So he left, and I put it in honor of our retired NASCAR slash World of Outlaws veteran that ran out of talent. Toxic side, toxic Josh, they're bad, but
Bad.
so
But
bad, and it's not done yet. That's the problem. So that was the rookie showcase. Then we had a veteran showcase, and we named it the Part Timer 100. So this was the guy. His name was AJ. He was in our league for. He came in the end of season 1.
end of season 1, yeah,
Yeah, and
yep.
he
And
was a good driver.
he was a good driver, and his background in real life was something to do with NASCAR. So he had some talent, and he had some like insider knowledge, basically. So he was a fast driver, clean driver, um, but he thought he was better than all of us.
Yeah.
And it turned out to not be the case, and it rubbed him the wrong way.
Some people
Yeah.
just can't take L's, huh?
Dude,
Oh man, not gracefully, I'll tell you that.
no, he was an a-hole, and he actually left. I remember that he left the group, so then I helped him out and finished kicking him out of all the other little chats we had, and then he wrote me mad because I kicked him out, and I was like, I didn't kick you out, you removed yourself. I'm like, I just helped you finish the job. So that's where the part-time 100 came in, because even Eximo, there was times where he was like, "Oh, I'm dedicated to that, to racing the league. I want to be a part of it." He'd show up once every couple races,
Right.
and
He'd show
especially
up on the races where he thought he had a for sure win.
when he didn't win, it took the wind right out that motherfucker's sails. He won once, and
Yep.
that was because he had his teammate block our fucking asses for laps upon laps. So he never could win up just a face up race. He couldn't win. He tried to do strategy calls, stuff like that. He tried being an experimental driver, just never could get to that point of being in victory lane against us. But here we go. We're gonna unfold a lot. This first driver was a problematic driver from the get go. If I remember correctly, after 2 races, him and his buddy left. And I remember this fondly. More importantly, the second race, but we'll get there in a minute. First race, we raced at Daytona. It was called the Do It for Dale 125. $20 to win. Nice little incentive for people just jumping in, and then it was $10 or $5 for second and third. So it was a cool incentive. People were really driving. The problem is adding money layer to this causes people to drive like shit and wreck people. So that's where we were getting a lot of what the fucks from, and it was one of the big ones was from this guy, the Colts Pacers guy. Um, yeah. Somehow, would you like to say anything
Yeah,
on this?
I'm. Yeah, I mean, I was there. I was helping my team, and we. This is when we really had team chats, and it was super strict. And we ran a lot of strategy, and we would practice. So as our Ford team, we were doing our thing. Obviously, our team and I had won stage 1 and stage 2. We're ready to go for stage 3, and I was trying to get one of the rookies a win. And here comes Colt Spacer on his own agenda and absolutely wipes me out at Daytona. I took clear out. And obviously helped himself to the win, but he was nowhere near in sight. Like, we kept him up there all race,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's how he repays the favor, and that's how I started off my season, my own team.
I finished race 1 dead last, 2 laps down.
Yes.
Yeah. I won't forget that one. That one pissed me off, and I did the same thing. Like, we hopped in there. I was like, all right, guys, I will help out whoever. Like I always do with these super speedways. I will help out with whoever. We'll try to get you to the front. We'll try to work together. All good to go, and then a big ass wreck happened. No caution came out, and I was the only car that really got smacked up. I know the radiator was red, the engine was yellow. I had to pit, or the car was just gonna blow up, and my day was over. Um, that was a rough time. That was a rough fucking race. But diving in here to race 2, we went to Worldwide Tech. This is where Mr. Colts Pacers thought that he had the car to win. And when I say it that way, he was driving through everybody through turn 1. He would drive the fuck through you to try to get up there. I know he ran Samo up out of the fucking line. He ran me up out of the line. He pushed multiple people that were up in the top 5 out of the way. Him and his buddy, who was driving the 78 car at the time, if I remember correctly, they were both just trucking through the field, just moving people.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, he claimed, I think if I remember correctly, he was on like the fastest lap for the track or something. And
Yes, in a custom setup. He used to run custom leagues,
yeah,
and we were a slider league.
Yep. And I
Yep.
think
And
it was a difference of like 2/10 or something. It wasn't anything drastic.
yeah, it wasn't anything crazy. We were running within 2/10 of his fastest lap time ever in a custom setup, and that really upset him in more ways than one.
And then he realized he couldn't catch us, and the only way to catch us was to run into us, and
Yeah,
that
he would just.
was just an ongoing thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I won't forget that one. Thank God that one's in the past. Race 3. We ended up going to Vegas. This is where Rowdy woke up and was, he didn't have a crazy stage 1 and stage 2. He was really like creeping like mid pack. Stage 3, he came out and just straight up was just like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm gonna take this." And I think there was an issue where I forgot who it was. I want to say it was Killa. I think him and CJ or him and Public, something happened with those three, and it just caused a big pile up, and that like gave Rowdy like +7 positions. Rowdy went up there, and then Rowdy was just showed he had a car. He had a car. It woke up and it was ready to go out and win. And Rowdy went and it won that race, and that was his first ever win. So being a rookie in the league, coming in for race
Yeah, it
3.
was his first official season with us.
Yep, and it took 3 races for him to win, so that was awesome
Yep.
to see. And Rowdy's a good guy. I'm happy he's a part of us and he stays a part of us. But this one, I think Rowdy should have doubled up here. Watkins Glen, it was called a Natty Ice 111. I remember this very fondly. AWOL, he had a fast car. I know Smo went out and led a lot. I led a lot. But Rowdy was always running us down. For some reason, it's just he meshes so well with Watkins Glen, and as the seasons continued on, we found that out more and more. Rowdy was just very good at Watkins Glen. It's like it's literally like he's like, it's in his backyard. He studies it. He knows what to do. But yeah, AWOL snuck that one out. I think there was a pit strategy call at the end that got him the lead.
There was a pitch strategy call, and if I remember correctly, this AWOL was known for pushing track limits in multiple areas, and this was one of them. It was here and at Indy Roval, and he would push track limits. He knew exactly where they were, and the game wouldn't recognize the limits wherever he pushed them, and it gave him a pretty decent advantage.
Yeah. There was a point in time I watched the replay today. We went through the bus stop, and he was about 2 car lengths in on the grass in the bus stop, and he was the only one that I saw go that deep. Like, yeah, we cut corners at Watkins Glen specifically because you could, but there's a point of cutting a corner and completely ripping the course off, and he found a way to rip the course off. Um,
Hey,
yeah,
closest way or the fastest way to point A to point B is going straight.
yeah. He would catch the curbing to the right where the jut out was perfect, and literally just keep the car straight from there. He would drive so deep in on the bus stop, it was insane. But race 5 went to Richmond. I watched that one. To my knowledge, and to this day, that was my most dominating race. So let me go back to beginning the season. Me and Samo, we were teammates for the first 2 seasons. We worked very well together. Season 3 was our first time being split up. He went to Ford, I went to Chevy. So he ended up picking up the 17, I picked up the 8. And
Correct.
the Chevy turned on a dime. And when it came to a track like Richmond, it ate the track up. It was just, I remembered just watching and just pulling away. I think I cleaned the stages, and I think I drove through the field at the end and won it again or something. But yeah, I think to this day that was my best. That was like my biggest performance, and it was
Yeah,
5 races
by
into it.
far that was the most dominating.
Yeah,
Fast car.
yeah, I miss that car sometimes. Race 6, we go to Homestead. He who not shall not be named ended up winning Homestead. So I will just put it this way: I believe Rowdy Brewster 79. He is probably my biggest enemy when it came to racing. The guy was another one that, like, he was pretty fast at mile and a half. Road courses he needed to work. And those driver tracks he definitely needed work. He just, when it came to mile and a half, he was just a god at mile and a half. I don't know how, I don't know why. It was just Smo. Tell me.
Yeah. He was talented at the mile and a half for sure. He knew how to save his car.
Hmm.
He had a car at towards the end of say a fuel run, and that really gave him an edge on the rest of the field. And it would put him right there with me and Josh. So we were constantly battling with him. But you couldn't uh, draft him. You couldn't run him hard. He would just complain. You couldn't turn under him going into a corner. He would think you're trying to put him in the wall. He couldn't take the competition. He just wanted to drive away. He couldn't stand that people were that close to him,
And you guys will
and he would
see.
get pretty upset.
And you guys will see in another season. I will not say it until we get there, but the stuff transpired, and he found an exit very fast. But this was his first win with us. I think he came in race 3 or race 4 or something like that. So again, I'll give him his props. I'll give him his credit. He was fast, and it was nice having another fast person. That's why I will say this season was the most competitive yet. Um, and it was
Oh, for
something.
sure.
It was something. Race 7 went to Phoenix. This one had a couple bucks on the line. Paid out the top 5, so that was pretty cool. Um, I ended up coming away with that one. That was a hard fought race. I didn't think I meshed too well with Phoenix. Um, Again, it's a Chevy. The nose is pointed. It turns so fucking well, and you would be able to hug the apron in 3 and 4,
Yeah,
and get back in the gas so fucking quick. It just the car just accelerated, and I really found that out when I joined with these guys. How much this car was better at the smaller tracks versus what the Toyota was that I ran, and I really excelled on that. So yeah,
and the Fords don't turn.
no,
They're
that's
great everywhere. They don't short track.
yep,
Fords are not that great on a short track.
yep.
Although I did have a good car that day. I
Mm-hmm.
remember I think I came back from 2 laps down to finish second,
Then you got
and I was
second.
closing the gap, but I just ran out of time,
Yep.
obviously. But I had a lot of mishaps this season.
A lot of getting
I have
ran over in the pits.
yet to win a race. I mean, we're 5, 6 races in. I have yet to win a race this season.
Mm-hmm.
Came second, came third a lot of top fives, but never able to seal the deal.
Oh,
Damn, I ain't never seen that side of Samo.
yeah.
It's
This
always
was.
been the Samo and Josh show.
Yeah, no. This
I
was. Yeah.
Homestead, I got pushed into I got hit into the pits from behind.
Right.
That was at Homestead. That was on the final stage, so there goes my race. I believe in the duels, I got hit also by my own teammate into the pits,
That was dirt.
and
Dirt Slinger
yep,
fucking sent your ass.
there goes that race. Just things like that. A couple others, probably some speeding on pit road, speeding into pit road on the final stage. I did that. Been known to do that a few times.
Yeah, it's funny to look back and like see what happened this season. You're just like, God damn, what the
Yeah.
like you said, so many mistakes, and I think it was the competition level. It was so
Yes, the
high.
competition level. It would drive you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You had to be perfect everywhere.
Exactly. Let's hop over to race 8. So this is when we get more of the sentimental races. Nep, he came in with an autism sponsored race, autism awareness. That was this was the first one that was more of like a hit home race, and it was awesome, especially at his home track, which is Charlotte. So that was cool to have. As you saw, Narwhal won it. He was just like Rowdy to me. Just that Rowdy was faster in a short period of time. AWOL would be able to bring the A game later on the run. Um, that's what I really saw the difference between those two rookies in this season.
And also, if I can add, Josh, I do
Yeah.
remember, like for this particular race, the autism awareness, and as you'll see later on, there's another race later on in the season, which is for another kind of sort of along the same lines for a type 1 diabetic
Mm-hmm.
sponsorship. We actually sent money. I sent money out of my own pocket to autism awareness and to type 1 diabetic research
Mm-hmm.
through, via the league from these races. So it was pretty cool. It was nice to give back.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it was just it's what we're able to do, what we're able to accomplish together,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's especially with something like this. It was awesome. You have the support of everyone coming in here to be like, oh, that's cool. Oh, I'm definitely going to be there for that one, like stuff like that. So you have people being there for the support side of it. Mine is
right.
just the racing side. All right, race 9. The Dirt Slinger 50, Bristol Dirt. I will miss this track so much. I felt like I had such. Me and Bristol Dirt were like best friends. That's how I felt. Um, Drop the tires all the way down and fucking let her eat. That's all I remember from this track.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna miss this one. I'm just, I wish they would run it more. I'm gonna miss this one.
me and you had some really good battles for sure.
Yep. And then the
We
last
were,
time
we
here, which I won't mention yet, that was that was an interesting one.
cunt.
Oh man, ditto. Race 10. Went to Pocono, and a familiar face is up there again. Rowdy Rooster 79. Um, he ended up winning this one. So
Yeah,
this is where he gets on a little hot streak. I'll leave it at that much. But he ended up picking up race 10. The next one I'll have Samo elaborate for you guys on, like he was doing before. But this was one that Samo actually went and sponsored, and that was the Race for a Cure Type 1 Diabetes 100.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and we actually we were able to raise some money, and I have a godson. My godson, he's type 1 diabetic,
Mm-hmm.
and I called up the family and I said, "Hey, listen, we're doing this race, and they actually watched the live stream, and we were able to send type 1 diabetes $100 because that's why we named it the 100. Well, we named it the 100 for the miles, but
Mm-hmm.
the one we took that 100 and sent $100 in for type 1 diabetic, just for as a donation from the league, which is pretty cool, and their parents were super grateful, and it was nice.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hopefully, we might have more opportunities like that with this season. We'll definitely have to work something out and
Yep,
see what we can do.
yep. I mean, look at the payout on that race. It was 50 to win, 20 for second, 15 for third, 10 for fourth, 5 for fifth.
Yeah,
There's $100 there, so we matched it and sent it out.
and this was a season where there was no buy-ins or anything like that. Like this all came
No,
from the drivers. The drivers were just like, "Hey, I want to do this." So that was this. This was all Samoa's making, and Samoa really. I think he was the first one to reach out that actually had something that he wanted to create that was meaningful, and that was this. So, we were grateful to have it, and it was cool to have that side of something be a
yeah,
part of us.
yep.
But as you see, Rowdy Rooster 79 won again. This is when I told you the hot streak was starting for him. But for race 12, finally someone ended up at victory lane. Samoa comes into Sonoma and fucking runs away with it.
Imagine that 12 races into the season, I got my first win. I was fucking excited.
Dude,
Was it
Jesus.
frustrating the first 11 weeks?
Was it frustrating? Yes, it was, especially because I had so many races where I had either swept the stages or won first stage, maybe second in second stage, and had a chance to win, and something would just take me out or happen, or I would take myself out. I mean, there was plenty of opportunity for me to win, and it just got taken away. But finally was able to close one up. No, none other than a road course, obviously. But
Hell yeah.
that was a good
yeah,
one too. This was another race. It was just me and Samoa running away. If I remember correctly, Rowdy Rooster 79 finished third, 19 seconds behind us.
yes.
This was the race that we
And
drove away from, and he's just like, I just can't keep up with you guys.
he's like, there is just no way. Yeah.
Man, just that was a wheel, and I will miss this track too. This layout and stuff, the way the cars would want to
Oh
flip over in that
God.
center
Yeah.
section, man. It just you need to
Yep.
know how to drive.
Yep.
Race 13. Good old Lou, HFD, came out and he wanted to sponsor the Dent Wizard 125. Very fitting. Again,
Yes.
Rowdy woke up and said, "Hey, I like these tracks," and came out and won the damn race. Um, Again, as you're seeing, we have a little bit of a rookie battle going on between Rowdy, Rooster, and AWOL. Those were our top three rookies at this time of the season. Um, and it pretty much stayed that way for the rest of the season. But
I know I was leading. I
yep.
was leading this race coming to the last lap, if I remember. And this is where I had a little rivalry for a little while with a rookie, Mr. Rowdy. And sure enough, I got walled by Rowdy on the last lap. Pretty much chastained me.
Hey, it didn't pull
And
Speedy. At least they didn't pull
yeah.
Speedy. That's a big
No,
thing.
no. Yeah. But he pulled out the win.
Yeah, and the same thing with this. Nice little payout. It was what, $45? Yeah, $45 payout. So
Yeah.
actually, no, 35. Yeah, 35. That was cool. Hopefully, we get stuff like that again this season, but time will definitely tell. Race 14, of course, our previous champion. This is where he won his championship at. His only fucking win that season. But anywho, the BMF 125. I will always feel this way. Season 2 was the championship that got away. Me and Samo and also NASCAR can elaborate and search into this to tell you guys. At the end of the race, I believe Samo sped. I got through my pit stop, my pick cycle cleanly. I drove back to public. I passed him for the lead with like 5 laps to go, and
Yes.
and we had a huge lead on everybody else, and it was my race to win, and then caution came out. You guys saw all that last week. But yeah, I came back for the redemption at Atlanta. Another fun race. I'm gonna miss this Atlanta too. I mean, it was a pile of crap to drive just because it ate tires up like no tomorrow. It was so bumpy, but it has so many characteristics to it. It was a fun track.
Couldn't use all the gears.
Mhm. 1 through 4. That's all we had.
Yeah,
Fifth and fifth, it bogged
fifth gear
out.
was 480 miles an hour if you could wind it out.
Yeah, it would take like fucking a minute and a half just to fucking get it there.
Yeah.
Race 15, Rowdy's Monster Mile. BMF flex a little muscle there. Ended up winning it, and as you can see, it was around a 16 cutoff race. This is where things got interesting. And if I see correctly, NASCAR was sitting about 20 points out. Bob was sitting roughly about 13, I want to say it is. But yeah, I mean, man, it was crunch time. Our playoffs, when it came down to the cutoff races, it was you're clenching the whole time. That's it. That's all you can say. You were clenching the whole time. Let's see here. Race 16. Roll Tide at not Daytona, Talladega. Cowboy.
Yeah, yep.
I I remember this one. I led him and the number 7 car. I don't know if I want to say his name either, but anywho, I led those two guys in the pits. I know I had them saving gas left and right. Then we came back out. I was leading them again, and I saw I was going to be short, and I was making sure with them like, you guys gonna make it, you guys gonna make it. They said yes, yes, yes. I was like, all right, cool. I'll drop to the back. I dropped back to third. It was only us three at the time, and then the field started catching us. And then we came out of 4, and my car fell in its face. It sputtered, so I just pulled up out of the groove. I went from should have finished second to like 12th, 13th. I mean, everyone was there. I think Samoa was leading that second pack, if I remember correctly.
I was. But I think, isn't this the race where Canfield got really Rooster 79
Mm.
got really, really upset because your car sputtered and you ran out of fuel and didn't necessarily move out of his way quick enough? I think that's where like the feud really started to pick up,
I don't remember.
if I remember correctly.
I just
if
know
I remember.
I threw the car up to the top of the track. I literally got out of the way. Like there was 4 lanes under me, and I just went up to the wall. Because I
Right.
didn't get hit by anybody. I remember that because I remember everyone wrecked coming out of the tri-oval. There was like 4 or 5 cars that wrecked coming out of the tri-oval. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened
Yeah.
there. I should have went back and watched that one. 17. This is what me and Samoa were talking about earlier. The Roval, he was leading, he like normal at a road course, and the wall decided to grab him and keep him there for a couple minutes.
Oh man, I will say I think the Roval was probably one of my more dominating tracks. That Charlotte and Indy.
Mm-hmm.
I can get the car around those courses so well. And I remember having a sizable lead, and then the game glitched and pinned my car to the wall, and it wouldn't move, and destroyed the car. Just destroyed it. And I tried to limp it around, but there was nothing I could do. It was done. And I lost another one.
In Samoa's terms, cunt.
Yeah.
Race 18. This was a round of 12 cutoff race. Points were really tight. Hark was down by 7, Giant by 8, Rooster 95 by 8, and Net by 9. So there was a fucking battle going on here just to make the round of 12. And Rowdy came in and said, "Hey, I'm still gonna keep riding this fucking groove I'm in," and he went and won another one.
Yep. He sure did.
This was Bob's
Now,
first.
before we
Go
hop
ahead.
off this. I was about to say, well, I think you were about to cover it. Is this the first time we've seen first place auto glass in
First
this league?
time, first time we saw first place auto glass in this league was season 3.
Hell yeah, now it's a staple.
Now it is a
Yep.
staple. It is on everything I drive, no matter if it's an iRacing or whatever the case may be. I told Bob I'm dragging him everywhere with me. So yeah,
Hell yeah.
and he's actually, I know he touched on this when he was on the show, but he's actually throwing money together to pay out the top 3 positions in the points at the end of ARCA season. So that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
And Bob's been a dirt guy. Bob did not think he was gonna jump on this NASCAR bandwagon and really make something of it. He did. He definitely did, and he loves it. And you know, I'm glad to have Bob in the league. He's another guy that's just it's awesome to have in here.
Yeah, he's a great addition. For sure.
Race 19. Oh, look who found victory lane yet again. Samo. At fucking, where are we? Bristol? Of course it's Bristol. I just, oh.
Which one? What race was it? Race 19?
Race 19.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And the
I do remember that.
funny thing is, the picture on the left, which was the cover photo for the race, had the 17 leading the fucking race. And then he went and fucking won it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Bristol's been good to me for forever. I just have a way of being really, really smooth at Bristol, and it works out. I'm not the fastest off the get-go, but after a couple laps, car settles in, I settle in, and I just concentrate on the lap time. That's it.
yeah, you're a menace there. I fucking don't get it.
Yeah.
Race 20, the battle at the Brickyard. Look at that. Look who's back in fucking victory lane again. Fucking Samo. This is all right. So we're in the playoffs. This is where Samoa's just like, all right, well, I'm here. I'm here to race, and here
Yep.
to win. And that's all you guys need to know. When it comes to the playoffs, it's usually a battle between me and Samoa winning fucking whatever we can before we get to the championship 4 race.
Yeah, absolutely. Just make sure that I get there and then just settle in, minimize mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he won your money and his money.
Yes.
Down there at the bottom. He sponsored his own win. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I sponsored a lot of races. You know what happened was if a driver dropped out that had a race, I told Josh, I said, I'll just sponsor and throw money for that race. Whatever they had, I'll do it. This way you don't get screwed out.
Oh yeah, I had people fucking telling me they need a refund. I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, did I give you a receipt? But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold someone's fucking money over the head. So at that point, I didn't give a shit.
No.
Especially $20.
Well,
Like, come on now, you fucking take
yeah,
it.
exactly.
I'm all about
Exactly.
having
So
fun.
I would just give it to him so that we can still just do the races like we had them.
All right, race 21. This was my fucking track. I love Darlington with a fucking passion. Um, Now it's a round of 8 cutoff. There was a bigger gap between, it's like Cowboy Dirt, Slinger Daytona, MB, CJ, Lou, and BMF, our season 2 champion. They were all out of the playoffs. They were trying to get in with one last hurrah, but I showed up and showed out, and I needed. Whenever I show up to Darlington, I need to win Darlington. I love that track. I don't know why. I don't know how. I used to hate driving it. I used to hate the way it was fucking configured. I just didn't like it. I mean, same thing with Worldwide Tech. I take both these 2 tracks and I just say Darlington's a banked Worldwide Tech. And I just hated how both of them were. And I actually started to love this one.
Yeah. Once you figure it out, it's decent, you know.
Mm-hmm. And look at this. Look who's back in victory lane yet again. Man, I'm telling you, he heated the fuck up. Samo shows up and jumps back in.
Got hot. Finally closing them out.
Yes. Yeah, it's the end of the season. It's time to show up and show the fuck up.
Yeah. New
23.
Hampshire.
Oh, go ahead. What were you saying? New
I,
Hampshire?
I like New Hampshire. New Hampshire raced to me like a road course, braking, turning, smooth on acceleration. So not a
Yeah.
lot of banking. I liked it.
Yeah, no, New Hampshire was a fun track. I liked it way better in a Toyota than I did the Chevy. The Chevy was just, especially with the flat track, it was just eating the tire up too much right front.
Yeah.
Race 23, Road America. No fucking surprise here. He's back in victory lane yet again. God, I was getting
Yep.
sick of this shit, man. I was like, Smo just fucking hasn't won shit. We get to the round of fucking 12, and he's just like, I'm gonna win everything now. So that's kind of where we were at. Um, Race 24, the decision race to make our championship 4. Look at that. The only ones locked in was me and Samo. Rowdy was up by 18 points. AWOL was sitting on the bubble by 2. Rooster 79 was off it by 2. And then from there on out, it was just a crapshoot. Cowboy was off by 45. Daytona was off by 46. Durslinger was off by 84. It was just, if
Yeah.
you,
Must win. Must win.
yes, if you did not show the fuck up to like finish in the top 3 each time you went out in the playoffs with us, you were not going far. And that's what happened here with them. Um, Rowdy steps up, fucking says, well, I'm racing my way in regardless. So our championship for season 3 came down to myself, Samo, Rowdy, and AWOL. 2 veterans, 2 of the hottest veterans, and 2 of the hottest rookies. That's
Two
literally what it
rookies.
came
Yeah.
down to.
Yeah. It was pretty sweet.
That race did not go as well as I wanted to, but Samo picks up one more fucking win, and he grabbed the season 3 championship.
Yeah. A season of turmoil. No wins to race 12, and here I am,
Mm.
season 3 champ. I mean, I was pretty excited.
Literally, we won what, 13 races? You won 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just,
Yep.
it was a time to shine. I mean, you definitely did.
That's it. Absolutely.
And then if we go through the awards real quick, rookie of the season, it went to Rowdy. Rowdy got the most wins. He ended up with 4 wins, 3 poles. Oh, here he goes. That was the start to Rowdy winning poles. Um, and God, we did laps led that season. He was 4th overall in laps led, second amongst
Yes.
the rookies. So I'm assuming Rooster 79 was the highest.
Shout out to MBFT for that one for the laps led, man. He used to watch every single race and tally with the tally for laps led.
It was actually me and him.
Oh, both of you guys. Okay.
So he started the season off doing it, and then I told him, like, dude, if you need help or anything with like the points wise, just let me know. I'm all caught up. And he's like, can you do lap sled every week? I was like, yeah, I'll fucking do it. And from there on out, it
Wow.
was just every time I was at work, I just fucking fast forward through it just to see who's leading what. Man, that was a lot. That was in depth. Hopefully, we can get to something like that possibly again this season.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Most improved driver was Lou. He wasn't a rookie at the time. He was in this. He was in there for one full season prior, but he had steady improvement at the end of the season, and he came on strong. I was hoping he was going to be a playoff driver, but like I said, he showed steady improvement, so he definitely deserved that award. Team owner of the season. All right, so Nep had a year as an owner. He didn't even start the season off as an owner. Warwolf had the owner's spot for Toyota. Then he left. Nep said, hey, Josh, you want? I can take it over. I said, all right, you're more than welcome to. So he took it over. The team he had that time fell apart. Completely fell apart. People quit on him. Then we grabbed drivers off each team and gave them to Nep to fill the Toyota roster. Um, Pretty much happened again. I think he was down to 2 or 3 drivers at the end of the season.
Yeah,
but it wasn't his doing. It was the drivers thinking they were high and mighty above everybody else. Um,
correct.
but the way Nep went about the situations, the way he tried to control them, he definitely he deserved it. He deserved to be the owner because he really, even if he was losing people, he was pulling everyone back together and being like, "Hey, we gotta do this. We have to really
Yeah,
step up."
and he kept his guys or his team
Hmm.
really well. Like they wanted to wreck, and he just wasn't about it. He would tell them, "You're done," or whatever the case may be. Park it.
Yep.
He kept good control.
Actually, Samo, is this the season that public waited for you
Yes,
at Charlotte?
at Charlotte.
At
Yes,
Charlotte, yes.
no, it was at Homestead, right? It wasn't at Homestead.
I have a weird feeling it was Charlotte. I know
Maybe
it
it
was
was Charlotte. Maybe it was Charlotte. Yeah,
I know it was one of these races. Public didn't like being raced hard. He was another one. He would race you like a piece of shit. He didn't like it if you did it back to him. But you wouldn't even go to that point. You just race him hard. You wouldn't fucking like
right.
door him or anything. And he just hated
Never.
somebody fucking being there. So he didn't like Samo. That they had a little thing back and forth a couple times, and yeah, he sat there and he took Samo out. Oh god, I'll never forget that shit. But finish off the last two awards. Driver of the season. This was a fucking hard thing to do. Um, had to compare my stats with Samo's stats. That's what it came down to be. And Samo had me beat with a win. I mean, not a win, with a championship. And I had
Right.
everything else. I mean, I think our fucking start and finish was like one full position off each other. Like we were really always there. Um, this was at the time, if I remember correctly, I think this was the second. No, this was my highest amount of wins at the time. Was 7 in the season. Um, and average start 2.4. Holy shit! Average finish was almost not even in the top five. That was close. Um,
Yeah.
high, highest laps led. Highest in top fives. Yeah, that was a interesting full season. Technically, this was technically the highest season
Correct.
we ran
Highest
to this
race.
point. Yeah.
Yes.
So it was a long one. Wasn't it wasn't anything short, but we had to be dedicated and show up every week to still have your head in it. Um, and then the last one was most popular driver. It went to Samo. Him helping his teammates to helping other people in the league. To I'm gonna call him Mr. Clean because that's what he was. He didn't really run you over. He raced you with respect, and he went and he got that most popular driver award. Everyone praised him, besides one person, which was public, but everyone praised him.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, of course. You still do it to this day. It's just Rowdy's kind of hunting this award down every season because he's always on there helping everybody.
Yes, for sure.
But
Rowdy
my
Road.
my time talking is done. Mr. Devin Bradley, Mr. Shiesty, please step up and take the microphone. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Well, it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time away. We're back with Shitty Showtime. And this, I want to get the chat immersed. I want some answers. I want some questions from the chat. I want this whole panel, NASCAR, Josh, Samo, Trickle. I want everybody to get along in this little segment that we call Shitty Showtime. That being said, I'm gonna move on to the first question. How will the new additions to the league, the Rip the Lip Sideways and the Frontline, stack up on everyone's schedules? I want to hear from the House of Vet Frontline's co-owner first, and Mr. Chad.
So you're asking how they stack up schedule wise, stacking with the other races. So like we're talking about
How
ARCA
do
on
you think
Sunday.
it'll? Yep. How do you think it'll affect the scheduling and the driving ultimately, or throughout the week?
I think it's going to be interesting because I think Josh kind of alluded to this at some point earlier today that these cars are every series is going to handle so much differently. So if somebody's racing in the ARCA series on Sunday evening, right before they jump into the House of Vets Frontline Truck Series, and they're used to the ARCA car, how much is it going to affect them in the Truck Series? I think is one factor. And two is, I mean, are you going to get burnt out racing all four series week in and week out?
Exactly. Gotta agree with you there. I want to hear NASCAR's point of view on this.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
How do you think the two new series on top of the Xfinity series and the Cup series, how do you think it'll affect everyone's season?
I think it'd be interesting for sure, to be honest. Especially rookie wise, Cup Series. I know we got some good guys coming up that are quick, fast, that come up from the Xfinity series from last season. So with that being said, I think it's going to be very interesting between all four series in general, and I'm hoping to see good competition between all four in general. I know we definitely will in Cup Series, and more likely to win as well. But it'd be cool to see some good competition in ARCA and Truck as well.
Hell yeah. With that being said, I'm going to move on to my next question. We know NASCAR 25 is going to drive differently, but how so? And I'll throw this to any one of the panelists today, the guests, or Josh. How do you guys feel that NASCAR 25 is going to drive compared to NASCAR Heat 5?
I want,
I can take this one.
yeah,
Oh,
I
go
want
ahead, Josh.
Samo. No, I want Samo to take it.
Oh, yeah. I what I hope NASCAR 25 is I guess a little more closer to a simulation style than a full blown arcade style game. And what I mean by that is um, just more feel through either the wheel or a controller if you do choose to run on a controller. But the fact that you can't just, it's not an on off switch with the throttle or the brakes. You have to modulate it. You have to drive these cars with intent. You have to drive them with their feedback in mind. Like, you know, I don't know if anybody here has driven, and I'm sure some of you guys have driven an actual race car in real life, but a race car is really positive, as in whatever you tell it to do, it's what it's going to do. And NASCAR Heat 5, it was kind of arcadey where, you know, you can turn the wheel all the way. The car really wasn't going to spin out. It's just going to turn and go wherever you want. Where if you do that in a real race car, boy, that car's going to take a sharp turn. You're flying into the passenger side, or that car's going to spin out. You know, and I hope it's more of that style of simulation, but not to the point where it's undrivable for these rookies and it deters them from staying in the league.
Right.
If you know what I mean. So it doesn't create too much separation.
I know some people run with assists and some, like our league, runs with no assists. Do you think that'll have an impact on how the car drives with us running no assists opposed to, say, an arcade style with assists?
It will have an impact, and I think what it's going to do is it's going to force people to learn throttle modulation, and what I mean by that is just easing into it, basically. You know, Josh said it before. I drive like there's an egg under the pedal, so I'm always really easy with my inputs because I know from real life situations, you can't just go mashing the pedal, and it isn't just for horsepower. It's also because it upsets the suspension on the car, or it upsets the way that that the car. It's if you're in a turn and it's going to get yawed out and you're going to spin out and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that it keeps it close enough without assists on, that the guys that are coming up, guys and gals that are coming up, can can kind of figure it out, and allow them to still have fun while learning, and it doesn't deter everybody.
Now, Josh, with you running iRacing, I want to hear back from you on this specific question. With this obviously being an iRacing game, how do you feel it'll drive compared to NASCAR Heat 5?
100% 360.
Yeah, man.
Like
Yeah.
it's not gonna be even close to what we had on Heat 5. I think, I haven't really been watching many of these videos that came out. I just watched the main ones right off the bat just to give you a little taste on what's to come. But from there on out, I haven't looked in to see how these cars are going to handle, how they're going to drive. I've just been told a couple things here and there. I think if you've done iRacing, real life driving on like fucking track shit like that, fuck it, you can put street racing out there. I think if you've done all that, you will have an adaptiveness to jump into this game. Um, it's going to be completely different than we ever had in Heat 5, and it's going to be more of a simulator style. A lot of people are going to be in for a rude awakening when it comes to jumping on this game, because you're going to go in there thinking, oh, it's going to be arcadey, and then you're going to get wheel spin coming out the pits because your throttle's at 3/4 throttle and not half throttle. Like, people are going to be in for a rude awakening.
Now,
Number
with
three.
me switching from controller on NASCAR Heat 5
Mm.
to wheel on NASCAR 25, how do you think that'll affect my season from rookie season to sophomore season?
I mean, honestly, it's gonna. It just depends how much work you put into it. Like, we tried talking it over with Bob when Bob got his wheel versus his when he was on a controller. You know,
on you. Where I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
you have to sit there and put some work into it. And that's what you're going to have to do if you want to have as an successful season as your first season was with us.
Shiesty, if I can add to that, with that question, because that's a really good question for people who used to run NASCAR Heat 5 with a remote versus 25 with a wheel. If you were really good and really fast in Heat 5 with a remote, you're going to be super disappointed in yourself when you get on the wheel in NASCAR 25, and you just have to stick with it. You just have to stick with it. Don't get deterred and go back to the remote because it's easier. Because the wheel is tougher. It's like a moving scale. It's harder. It's harder. It's harder until you're really good, and then it's easier and easier and easier than a remote to go faster. Initially, if you put two people, one on the remote, one on the wheel, the remote's gonna be faster every time.
100%.
Two people that have never raced on either. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So to be that good in Heat 5 on a remote and then go to NASCAR 25 and start off on the wheel, you're going to be like, man, I think I got to try the remote thing, see if I can at least get this game down. Don't do it because you'll develop bad habits. Just stick with the wheel.
All right. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Before we hop to the next couple slides here, I want to announce that I will be sponsoring the regular season championship for the Dirt to Daytona Pro Cup Series. I'll be sponsoring a regular season trophy for the regular season champion. Before, I felt as if we never really had a, I guess, reason to try to run for the championship. It might have granted a little bit of points, but you really only got a hoorah at the end of the season. I feel like that's definitely a big accomplishment, and I wanted to award whoever ran the whole season consistently. So yeah, I wanted to drop that today, and with that being said, I'm good to move on to my next slide. Any other questions or comments from the panel or, well, the live comment section?
So there's a
I'm also.
question from Justin Claypool in the chat. He said he's glad to be back, and that his question is, which series will be the most competitive?
Oh, Mike can answer.
Well, I'll start on this one for sure, because I feel like the Cup Series will be the most competitive overall, but I feel like we'll see a lot of majority in extra. We'll see some bright up and comers in the lower divisions, to where like we see Connor Zilic in the Xfinity Series. He's looking to be a great Cup prospect, and the Cup season was an amazing competitive season. So I think we'll see in the lower divisions, we'll see someone take right off with it. And then in the Cup, I feel like it's just going to be a toss up.
So I think what Justin's asking, and I could be wrong, but I think what he's asking is which one maybe has the closest racing. And I think between the 4 series and our league, probably the Xfinity is going to produce the closest competitive racing. Because I think those cars will be able to be handled and kind of take a little bit more of a beating than the Cup cars can. I think you got to save your stuff in the Cup side, and the trucks are tougher to drive. In ARCA, I don't know how many people are actually going to run in ARCA. So, in my opinion, I think maybe the Xfinity Series is going to be the most close competitive racing in our league.
So I'll touch on that real quick. I think 100% Xfinity is going to be the closest racing. Just in the fact of, like Samo said, with the trucks, they're going to run tight as fuck. You're going to have to work on those so goddamn much to really get a good driving truck, and some people won't be able to do as much work to them, or whatever the case may be. You're going to have like 3 cars running in the top 5 close to each other, and then everyone else is going to be farther behind. I think the Xfinity Series, you got to manage tire. You're going to have to manage wear. You can beat on the car. Like Smo said, it should take it for the most part. But I think you're going to have a lot of people racing that Xfinity Series just to get the feel of a car really sliding around. Because once you get to the Cup Series, these next-gen cars are more grounded. So you'll have more of a, what's the term I'm looking for? More of an advantage running the Xfinity Series to get yourself into the Cup Series, just so you can handle the car better for any type of situation that occurs. Because I think you're going to have problems with aero blocking. You're going to feel a car pushing air on your left rear. You're going to feel the car get super loose from it. And you're going to have to deal with all that. And I think the Xfinity Series is going to be the series that you're going to be able to play with that more, try to run each other harder, and learn as much as you can to bring it over to the Cup side.
I think that was a good way to summarize that.
So that shit was like full circle, man. Oh.
What
There,
happened to Shiesty?
I don't know.
I'm right here. I'm
Oh, there
he
in
is.
the chat right now. Big Mike said, Cup is always competitive, but with a lot of newcomers in lower divisions, it will bring up the competition.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So I agree to it to a certain extent. This falls back on the realism feel that this game is 99% going to have. Competitiveness, yes, it will be there, but in order to be competitive, you have to be able to withstand holding on to your car the whole time and taking care of your car. You can't go out and beat the shit out of it every lap. You have to take your time with it, so to speak. And you have to let the car come to you. You can't force the car to drive the way it's not ready to drive yet. So I think yes, as long as everyone can adapt and really know how to rip these cars the way that they're meant to rip.
Now, I kind of have a branch off question off of that.
Hmm.
So, say we see someone really excelling in the Xfinity series,
Hmm.
and they're really good with how free the car is and really how unstable it is, and then you go to switch to these new Cup cars. How do you think that'll impact them in Cup compared to how they were doing in Xfinity?
So, I mean, it's going to go back to what I said before. I think it's going to set you up perfect for the Cup cars because you're going to be you're going to be over prepared when you get to the Cup Series. Because again, we all see how these Xfinity cars drive; they're always all over the goddamn place. Versus what the Cup cars are, the Cup cars are just super grounded. So you're going to see that difference. Yeah, I think from Xfinity to Cup, you're gonna be more than prepared. More than prepared.
Well, now coming
Yeah.
from a rookie that just finished an Xfinity season on a P5, and then going into most likely, hopefully, if I can do well enough and get drafted to be in a Cup Series, and then racing on the side in the Truck Series without doing Xfinity, is it going to be a huge difference in your mind, or like, would you be able to excel if you're putting the work into it?
I think you'll be able to excel, especially because you'll be learning car control in the truck series, and it's just important just to know just reaction to what a car is doing. You know, not necessarily, and it may not relate to say, man, I can use this line in the Cup Series. I can run this line in the Cup Series because they're you run different lines for the different series, but you'll be able to handle the car better, and you'll be able to react much more natural, and that's all you can. That's what you're trying to do, anyways. That's what you want to learn is in those lower series is car control, and I think it'll help.
100%.
Any of the panel have any questions? Not seeing any here in the comments.
No, I'm all set.
What was so? If you look at and for I'll start off by saying this: like, what a league to be able to go back. Like, you're going season by season by season. You're obviously keeping record of these seasons. So to be a part of that's pretty neat. That you can end up in one of these, basically like a record book. But you see the evolution. You went from driving team cars to now these teams will have different manufacturers throughout their team instead of it being Team Toyota, Team
Hmm.
Chevy, or Team Ford.
Yeah, we experimented with that with our fifth season. So our fifth season, we
Yeah.
really were just like, okay, you can have any manufacturer that you want as long as the car is open and available. When you get drafted, it's all yours. We did it in our fifth season. Honestly, that made like the best racing. Just because now the Fords all get together and go. Now it's two Chevys, a Ford, and a Toyota having to team up together and go. Three different, completely different manufacturers. They work differently on each track. They drive differently on each track, and that was the cool part for me to witness and see how weird these cars drive with different tracks. And now you have a group that's a team having all these different manufacturers and trying to figure out what's best for each car. I might be able to take 10% tape off, let's say, and take out a half round of wedge. Someone that has a Chevy can't do it because it's going to set their car up too loose. You know, stuff like that. It was really cool. It's just you really had to figure it out for yourself, and I'm sure same thing with this game. When we jump into it, it's going to be the same way.
With us having the most teams that we've ever had in the league, how do you think the owners' championship points will pan out?
Very good question. I have not gave that much thought.
I mean, we've seen like last season, season 5, we had the owners' championship, and Team Rowdy really fell apart towards the end of the season because either people would get booted or just leave. And then you'd have Team Dirt and Daytona that had consistent winners, consistent up front, and really just numbers to put on top of it. How do you think that'll pan out if we have people that quit, or if we have people that ultimately get kicked out because they want to be jackasses?
The show must go on.
Heard.
That's all. That's seriously my only rational answer to that question. The show must go
Well,
on.
yeah, not only that, but I think owners' points, or team points, owners' points, whatever, is whatever team has the least amount of people. Then we'll just take, say, a team has
Correct.
3 people. Then we take the top 3 positions from each team. And that'll change week by week, basically. So if a team one week has 5 and the next week they have 4, then obviously then the following week it'll just be for the top 4 positions. So I don't think it'll, the people coming and going, yeah, it might affect it if they lose a really good person, or it might actually help them if they lose a really bad person. But I don't think it'll really matter much, as long as, they keep their team consistent, I guess.
We do have a question in the live stream from Dave. He says, do you think the experience from NASCAR Heat 5 will translate into NASCAR 25?
Nope. If you want me to be brutally honest, no. Completely different game. Heat 5, like Smo said earlier, arcadey, very arcadey. I mean, we did what we could on our side, messing with our steering ratios, stuff like that, to make it more of a realistic feel. So it did have a little feel of it, but yeah, man. I mean, you hop in a NASCAR 2022 Cup car and go rip it around the track. You can run full throttle if you wanted to, and it won't step out on you. You hop in, let's say, for instance, iRacing, or I will use NASCAR 25. You hop in there. Guys are complaining that, like I said before, they're coming off pit road, not even full throttle, spinning the rear tires, having to get off the gas and get out of the car to go. So whatever we learned and we dealt with from Heat 5, completely different ball game now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The only thing that you'll gain from Heat 5 to Heat 25, or to NASCAR 25, is literally just wheel time. You're not going to gain anything else. It's just your time on your wheel.
Hmm.
It would be just like going from Gran Turismo to, or Forza to NASCAR 25. They don't translate in any way. The only thing you have is wheel time and how to control a car. That's it. And that's what I think all the other series will help you do if you do run multiple series, is just give you that time behind the wheel.
And I was going to add to that too, is I was going to say, I spent a lot of time, obviously I had never done any form of racing, let alone sim racing or anything when I joined last season. Just started out, and I put a lot of time into Heat 5, and like Josh, I mean, I spent hours with Josh and Rowdy and trying to set up wheel settings to make it feel real, but also, to where it was drivable for me to learn and get through the races. And I would say this is going to be no different. It's just going to be starting all over again and
Hmm.
putting the time into it and getting out of it what you put into it. And for the newer drivers coming in, I would say, don't give up after 1 or 2 races. Like, keep learning, learn from the Samos, the Joshes, the Rowdies, and just take it in and just accept whatever mistakes you make and whatever frustrations you come from it, and just keep driving forward. And I think you're going to surprise yourself by the end of the season how much improved you are, and it's going to make it worthwhile. But I would say I would expect a huge learning curve.
I would 100% agree with everything said there. He came back with a rebuttal. He said, "So we're all going to be starting from scratch. Should we all start in ARCA?"
To be honest, if you're someone that wants to run all the series, I mean, by all means, definitely. What I'm gonna do is, and I'm gonna go pick a track that each series has in it, that they're the same track, and I'm gonna start off with Arca. I'm gonna go run my Arca car at that track. After I'm done with the Arca, I'm gonna go grab the truck, go run that. After that, Xfinity, go grab that. Then Cup, see what that does. I want to feel the difference in those cars at the same track, so I know what to look for.
So I
Yeah,
got a
absolutely.
question for everybody here. How many of you guys are going to be on once this game drops at midnight tomorrow?
I'm not getting on until fucking Friday.
I
Dude.
won't. I won't. I won't be on till next weekend.
Who,
I
me?
know I'll be working, so
Yeah, you
some
wouldn't.
people might have a head start, or some people might just.
Yeah, I'm lucky because I'm a 40-year-old going back to college just to get my degree finally. And I don't have school on Fridays, so I will most likely be up to at least get on it and mess with, if nothing more, paint booth, right? Like, I don't know, paint booth
This is
and just to
the
get a feel for the drive.
I would never
this
mess
is
around
the
with Paint
same
Booth
guy
for like the first
that
month. I would just be figuring out the wheel. Don't care about paint. Could care less.
this
I
is also the same guy that said one more 4 o'clock in the morning with Speedy. One more.
Yeah,
Just
but that
one
was on
more.
real time. I just like I don't know if I'm gonna really get deep dived into the wheel right off the get on at midnight. I think that's going to be more for a daytime when I'm not getting tired and possibly getting frustrated with it right out the gate. I think it's more of a, hey, I might dabble in a quick race and try to adjust settings or dabble in the menus, but it's not going to be to fully try it out until Friday.
Yeah, the first week for me, I'm just gonna be. It's gonna be wheel time. After I know what the cars are gonna do and I felt them and see what I can work on, then I'll fuck around with the paint booth. But I mean, right off the rip, I'm getting on it. When I get tired, I'm turning the fucker off. I'll be back at it the next day. That means
Well, I
anyone
think
that's watching that's from our league, another little tidbit, we will probably have lobbies every day whenever it goes live. If anybody would like to join in and partake and get the wheel time that they can.
Well, I am going to say there will be some day shift lobbies up too with me working thirds right now. I'm
Hmm.
going to be getting as much wheel time as I can get, so there's going to be some midday test sessions going. Anybody's more than welcome to join.
Who's keeping notebooks?
Well, I've got about 30 of them over here, but they're all filled with D2D notes.
Yeah, I have two of them that are fucking jam packed with just everything. I need to go out and buy more. Rowdy. That was the person that really made me think about that was Rowdy. Rowdy would write down every adjustment he would do to the car. And I'm just like, damn, that's a good idea. It just to keep a log on it. But I use YouTube as my log. Whatever adjustments I change and I make, it's in race and then my YouTube channel shows what happens with those adjustments. I don't write them down. They're there if I need to go back and look at them. And trust me, I went back and I'd watch my own videos 2 or 3 times to see what I did, what I could do better, and see what adjustment might work better for the next time I'm there.
And I never even thought about it until Reb. Reb would send me some of his, and I'm like, wait a second, you're actually keeping an actual log and notebook. And he was like,
Hmm.
hell yeah.
Yep. Yep. Roddy was the first one. He really put me onto that. Any
Mr.
other?
Speedy asked how Shiesty's coming along with the wheel. Well, with there not being a new game out or anything, I'm just running my reps on NASCAR Heat 5 when I can.
Get the
Good
laps.
thing he's an owner. No one would draft him.
That is true. But Shiesty, we got any other questions besides Speedy shenanigans?
I don't see any, but
All right. Well, we'll hop into the credits then. Thank you everybody for your time tonight. It really, you guys, if we didn't have a viewing, we wouldn't be doing this. It's nice to interact with the people that are giving us their time, give you guys little tidbits of information that we have, and have a discussion. I mean, that's what we're all about. We love doing this every single week. I mean, yes, I'm gonna keep saying it. A lot of time and effort goes into this, but honest to God, this is always a good time, and I really do appreciate every single one of you. But without further ado, um, again, like normal, our production studio, information analysis, podcast host, co-host, graphic designers, show producers. I do want to give a special thank you to Samo, Chad, and Matthew Meals for coming out tonight and giving me your input. Samo, thank you for talking about season 3 with us. It's always appreciated.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you for coming in, being like a third view on it all, and giving us a little bit of insight of what you have and stuff that you're looking forward to, questions, so on and so forth. It's appreciated as well.
100%, man. I appreciate you having me again.
And Mr. Meals, I don't know if you're still there or not. He's pulling a double duty tonight. I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but he's racing in a dirt league right now, and he was being part of the podcast. So he pulled double trouble tonight. So I appreciate him giving us at least a little bit of attention and helping us out with getting through some things and talking about some stuff. So thank you to him as well. But and just like that, we are done for tonight. So everybody, you guys have a lovely night. Thank you again for joining us for the 6th episode, and we'll be back for the 7th. Have a wonderful night.